Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Ral, and this week I'm focusing on just completed build here. This is a 1971 Hornet SC 360 here, and very rare car, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But what it's based off of, this is, this was new for 1970, the Hornet, which is a name that was out before. If you know your automotive history, there was the race cars and the higher performance Hudson Hornets, even though they were six-cylinder cars, but they were pretty fast and they were winning some serious races in the stock car classes at the time. So, the name was kind of resurrected from that, even though, Hudson was no longer around, but through some of the mergers and stuff that became part of AMC. You really got to get into the history of that one, but I'm not going to get into that. But for 1970, the Hornet was available, just came out, so it was this body style, and what was available in it was there was 4 engines available. 3 of them were 6 cylinders and 1 V8. You got the 199 cubic inch 6-cylinder, 128 horsepower, a 232 one-barrel monster with 145 horsepower. Add the 2-barrel carb to that, and now you're at 155 horsepower. But the big news was the 304 V8, which was a 2-barrel carb, 210 horsepower. 3-speed manual was available in those cars, along with the automatic, but the V8 cars only got the automatic. It was a Borg-Warner automatic only. And then the gears, 297 or 315 gears, twin grip was optional. But that's, the extent of the performance options in the 70 Hornet. But for 71, they decided they were going to, also compete with the insurance beaters as well. The Duster came out with his 340 and some of those for 70. So for 71, AMC decided to get a little involved also, and seeing that the big engines were going to die, because they could have easily just dropped the 401 into this thing. Dimensionally, it would drop right in. It's really no different than the 304 or the 360. As far as bolting it in, there's a couple little things like deck height and stuff like that, but realistically, you can drop that sucker right into this thing. That would be a lot of fun. But they decided they were going to drop the 360 in it. And the 360 package, which was, the SC standard for Super Coupe, and the 360 package was $2,663 base price. Now, here's what I didn't realize was I thought all 360s were the same. They are not. The base package got you an 8.5 to 1 compression, 2-barrel Motorcraft carb, single exhaust, and that netted you 245 horsepower with 365 foot-pounds of torque in a 3,200-pound car. So I didn't realize these were that heavy. I thought they were even lighter than that, but 3,200 pounds. My 71 Chevelle and my 99 S10 Extreme Extended Cab are both like 3,400 pounds. So this was, even though it was a smaller compact car, it was still kind of heavy. But the 3-speed manual transmission was available in it as well. But that's kind of rare and weird. But the AMC 20 had 315 gears or 287 gears in the manual. 315 was in the automatic. And the twin grip rear was optional. So there were all these options on top of it. Disc brakes were optional. Dual exhaust was optional. And the 360 stripe that you see here, that was standard on the SC 360. And this tail panel between the tail lights, that was standard on the SC 360s. So, and the stripe was available in 3 colors. You can get it in red, white, or black. Interior was pretty Spartan. Bucket seats were standard in the SC360, although the bucket seats pretty much were a bench. They still rubbed up against each other. No console or anything like that. 8,000 RPM tack was available. I read that no air conditioning was not available in the SC360 package, but in the registry, it says there were some cars that had it and it was available. So found that quite interesting, and the registry was a lot of fun going through all of that. Now, the bargain package here for this was the Go package. That I didn't realize. I know they had Go packages on other ones, but the SC360, the Go package gave you the hood scoop, which was a functional ram air hood scoop, took the 2-barrel carb off of that and put a 4-barrel Motorcraft carb on it. Then you got 285 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque. Dual exhaust became standard in that package. The gears, you got 354 or 391 twin grip in them. And the optional part of it was the 4-speed manual was now available with the Go package. I could not find a price for the 4-speed optional. I found that interesting, but it wasn't stated if the $199 included the 4-speed price or not. It said it was optional. Now, AMC thought for sure they were going to make like 10,000 of these. They were planning to do that many. But to do that, you got to advertise this car. They didn't really advertise it. There was like hardly any brochures, one little flyer, really not much of a mention of the car at all. Price was right, package pretty decent, but just kind of an unknown car. So they ended up only making 784 of them. But being that the Go package, so not all of them have the hood scoop, which I thought that was odd, but when I started to find out why, okay, Rambler was part of the Go package. Now, 784 of them made, 555 of them had the Go package. So most of the customers stepped up to them. So 2/3 had the Go package. Now the rare number, the most desirable, are the 4-speed models. It said those 304 have the Go package and the 4-speed model transmission. So I'm like, okay, cool, which is kind of what this is, and as far as how it's built and everything, because I got the hood scoop and the manual tranny is there, but I mean you kind of don't have a choice when it comes to building this particular model kit. Now, as far as rarity goes, being that 555 had the Go package, so those were the 4-barrel 360 cars, 304 of them got the 4-speed. So the V8 4-barrel cars with the 4-speed seem to be the most common. The V8 4V automatic, there were 249 made. Now, the 4-barrel Go package cars with the 3-speed manual, there was 23 of those made according to the registry. Now, rare, going with the 2-barrel carb with automatic, 206 of those were made. But the 2-barrel 360 with the 3-speed manual transmission, 19 of those were made. So no hood scoop, manual tranny 3-speed, and 360 2-barrel. Very, very rare. I don't know what the air cleaner on that would look like compared to this one. So we'll get more into this build here in a second. Let's take this outside and take a look at this canary yellow in the sun. All right, here we are out in the Arizona sun here looking at this canary yellow 71 Hornet SC 360, and I'm really enjoying this color. Definitely different, but she looks really good. But finished this one up, really happy with the way this one came out. A lot of work, a lot of fitting, a lot of test fitting, and then surprise, more test fitting, and then all of a sudden something doesn't fit. But that's the way she goes. But really like the way this one came out here. Got those Revell chrome spray on the mirrors there. Kind of hard to tell the difference. They look really good. Just try not to touch them. Bare metal foil on those wheel opening moldings. And stoplight red on the tail panel and all that foil. So she's looking really good. And those decals, they fit really well, surprisingly. But really happy with the way this one came out. Love that hood scoop. We'll just go around this way. License plates, those exhaust tips, and those wheels. Kind of blacked out, but looking really good. And that hood scoop. Love that hood scoop. But there it is. Now let's head back inside. All right. I don't know how much more of this yellow can pop in the direct sunlight, but I really like this color. It was like my mom's favorite color, which is one of the reasons why I did it in black, black stripe canary yellow. And I kind of did it with the white walls and the more of the base wheels. So I got those on there. So I just kind of wanted to do it. I want to do it a little bit differently because I do have two of these. And to get into this particular one, this is a resin kit from Missing Link. Here it is right here. Here's my other one. So it's a resin kit from his, and I do want to build this one in this blue. There's a couple of different blues, but I really like this electric blue with the white stripe. I'll do with probably the blue interior, but still have the black scoop and all the rest. But I'll have the volcano wheels and the white letter tires. So because I wanted to make them a little bit different, that's why this one has the white line tires, which are Modelhaus tires and have the white lines. So those are Modelhaus 545s, I believe. So got some tires from Modelhaus, the resin kit from Missing Link, which is hard enough to get. And then on top of it, you need a donor kit to build this. Most of the parts are, included. You get the body, vacuum formed glass, the hood, scoop, a lot of this stuff. But the engine is not provided. So here's the air cleaner with the 360 decal on it. So the best donor for this one is SC Rambler. So you can get the 390 engine out of that. So which is where that came from. The engine compartment is pretty much provided, but the hoses, the fan, the exhaust, the suspension, the chassis is provided, but you need all the rear suspension, all the exhaust, and the gas tank and stuff all come from that donor kit. So that kit's getting a little hard to get or find, but considering you don't use a whole lot of it, it's kind of, it still adds up. So getting the kit, and then on top of it, this has decals from Ray's Kit decals. I got them from North America from Joe, and he offers them in black and white, and I believe red as well. I'm not 100% sure on the red, but I have a set of white coming. Even though this kit came with white decals, it doesn't come with all the decals that are provided on the sheet of this thing. So there's a ton of decals. Like a lot of these, you start looking in here, and I've got, there's one on the firewall here. There's one on the battery, if you can see it. I got one I've stuck right here. The air cleaner ones, there's two on the air cleaner. And then there's some ones in the dash too, which really hard to see. I don't know if the light is going to get in there to see it because this is all black interior, and one on the steering wheel. So there's gauges and wood trim on the dash on this one, which was optional as well. But, a very fun car and an interesting car, and one that's just really not seen, not many of them out there, not many restored. But they're out there, and they're kind of fun seeing them on the registry. But even as a collector car goes, you can get them still for pretty good prices if you can find one. But condition is everything. So I guess some of the top dog ones are 55, 60,000, somewhere along those lines. But I mean, they're talking the most desirable of them. But AMC's, they're a nightmare to get parts for. But this one's looking really, really good. I like the grill and how this is done, all the details putting in it. The emblems, as far as I put foil behind the paint, polished them out. I got a whole build series of videos building this car, foiling the door handles, the clear coat, the decals. The decals have a little bit of trouble kind of lining up, but they're aftermarket and designed and made a certain way. Then getting the bare metal foil on this back panel and the red paint there, the stoplight red, and all the foil and all this stuff. So a lot of fit and challenges to getting all this stuff to fit. And even sometimes, when you think you run into stuff, you still run into more stuff. I had some issues with the rear track. I fixed that. And then getting all four tires to sit on the ground, that can be challenging as well. So a couple of different tricks to do that kind of stuff too, but really, really happy with the way this one came out. These mirrors were provided with the kit. The earlier kit didn't have mirrors, but the later kit does. So I bugged Kevin to get me another set, but I used a chrome, Revell chrome paint on that to get the mirrors chromed. Everything else was pretty much chrome, but not all these kits are offered with chrome anymore because that's getting hard to do as well. But I wanted to share this with you, and you guys see what you think of it and what you like of it. And then I'll eventually build my other one, the electric blue car with the white stripe and the other wheels. I'll do that one and probably do a blue interior on it because there was a lot of different colors and options. Vinyl top, these things had all kinds of different ways, so it could be to the point where no two are the same, but still. Got this one done. Love the way it came out. Really enjoying it. And it's kind of funny, doing this one in my mom's favorite color because we still have her 73 Hornets. You had the Sportabout, which replaced my station wagon when I bought the wagon off of Mom, or when the motor blew, but that's a long story. We still have hers and still in the backyard, so we've got that 73 Sportabout as well. Just sitting there, no plans, don't know what's going to happen with that one, but be kind of fun to get it running again, but got enough projects as it is. But you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it, you guys. You have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.